usual. But,
So we're meeting up in the tannery as the two of you become aware of your dire situation. Um, well, before we start talking about the plan, let's see what you guys do for downtime. You've got a little bit of time to get ready for dealing with whatever the hive is going to throw at you, right? I mean, you know sort of
Yeah.
the gist of how
yeah.
this goes down is that they sell you out, they have a wanted level, all that stuff, and they throw everything on you guys because they've
Why
decided,
not?
yeah, they've decided that you are more trouble than you're worth at this point, or that the mission can't be completed and it's easier for them to just throw it on you and be rid of you rather than try to clean up whatever problems are in your wake. So who's got a downtime action?
Uh, I got one. I mean, we all know I'm gonna clear some stress. Well,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
So let's get that out of the way.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, we saw you visiting, um,
Yeah.
yeah, your vice purveyor last time, for the rare meat. Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
that's a bad roll. Okay, 2 stress
Yeah.
cleared.
I was all dirty and stressed out, so food didn't set well.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and okay, so what about you, Slab?
Um, I mean, I haven't got any stress for some weird reason. I don't know why. Uh, I
Mm-hmm.
just cleared it all by being good at the game by following it. No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can gather some information on the crows.
Okay, so this kind of ties into the plan you guys are talking about,
Yeah, yeah. But
which
isn't gather information in downtime action, or am I mixing that up?
yeah, no,
You
no,
know,
no, no. You can gather information in
like,
downtime.
but yeah, this job's gonna be hard enough as it is without information.
What's the nature of the information you're trying to gather?
Um, because we pretty much know that Besson said it was head of the crows whose name I keep fucking forgetting. What's her name?
Lisa?
Lissa.
No.
Yeah.
Lissa, that's it,
Close enough.
Lissa. Well, whatever. However you
It
pronounce
wasn't
it.
fantasy enough.
Lyasta, I think is the name. No, gather information on exactly where her whereabouts are, where she goes, what she does, when would be the best time to put a black bag over her head. For example, hypothetically.
Sure. What action are you rolling for that?
Sorry, blowing my nose. Right. Um, I think I'm kind of taking some of the young Scotlanders, kind of more impressionable lads who like, oh yeah, this is a veteran. He knows what he's doing. You know, give them accuracy what for, and I'm going to kind of manipulate that trust and get them to spy on the crows using command. Organize them like a unit. Tell them like, all right, go here. Tell me what you see. At 0800 hours, you'll come back here, report, all that stuff.
Okay. Um. So... Yeah, okay. Yeah, we got this. So using these guys, just recruiting a bunch of eyes and ears, basically.
Yeah.
It's definitely risky. Yeah, you're gonna have limited effect through those guys. I mean, they're not particularly well connected or anything.
Mm.
Um,
And if I personally kind of kept an eye out in that area, so this crow's foot, where the crows are, is not really, it's not hive turf or anything yet,
right.
so I wouldn't be in that much danger. And the crows aren't exactly after us personally. So if I did that, would I get more effect? If I did it personally?
Well, that might reduce the risk level to controlled. But as far as sending just a bunch of dudes to go and be like, hey, find out what Lissa's doing and then tell me. That's the whole issue with the effect level. Now, you could do something desperate to get more effect. You can certainly...
Here is... Sorry, here's the third option then. What if I found a crow and beat the shit out of him until he told me where Lissa was?
Sure, that's much more desperate. Absolutely.
Yeah, alright, perfect. It's desperate and better effect, probably. So, that sounds like it's a great idea.
So that's going to be desperate standard effect. Now you can push yourself for better effect or an extra dice, of course. Or I can offer you a devil's bargain. And the devil's bargain is... The devil's bargain is that you... Okay, yeah. There is one way where the devil's bargain is that you're vicious and you beat the guy so bad that he doesn't show up again and they're all like, where's George? But I think instead the devil's bargain is that you go soft on the guy. You probably should beat him unconscious and tie him up and throw him in a closet or something. But instead he begs. He begs for you not to hurt him. He begs for his life. And you give in to that. And you let him go. He gives you the information if you're successful. But he walks away from you after that.
This is no time to be thinking about XP, man.
I'm not going to accept the bargain. I'm going to push instead. Sorry.
All right. Are you going to take an extra dice or greater effect?
I'm going to use skirmish, then I'll go ahead and take the extra effect.
Okay.
Or I suppose this wouldn't be something where I could do not to be trifled with, and then thereby get better effect and an extra die, because I'm an entire gang beating this guy up or something.
Well, I mean, getting into a fight with them would be one thing, but to get the information, I think it's still a command. It's still you being intimidating, right?
All right. Well, okay. Yeah, I'll accept that. So desperate, standard, and
it could be Tinker.
In that case, then I'll just push for the extra die, actually.
Okay, so you got 3 dice. It's desperate. You have standard effect.
Here we go.
Hit it. All fours.
Damn.
Wow. Wow.
What's that? Like
All right.
double fives is a poor man's crit.
This is below the poverty line crit.
Yeah.
Homeless crit.
Well, of course, the guy tells you a few places that you'd be able to find Lissa. Most of them are bad. On their turf, inside their fortified HQ, which is definitely not a go for you.
Behind several layers of barbed wire and landmines.
Okay. You're going to get the information, but there's still going to be a problem. Yeah. The most vulnerable time to strike Lissa. Lissa knows, right, that there could be reprisals coming, that she could have garnered attention if she murdered Rorik or any of that kind of thing, or that with the gang on shaky ground that somebody could try and knock them over or take her out, or somebody else in the gang decides to step up also, all that stuff. And she's being extremely cautious, but there is one thing she still has to go do on a regular basis, and that is meet with a contact. This is an important contact for Crow's Foot because it keeps things working orderly. She has to meet a Bluecoat contact. And yeah, she meets with a Bluecoat contact once every week or so in Tangletown. Tangletown is inside Crow's Foot. Well, it's inside the river next to Crow's Foot. It is the remains of a Leviathan ship. Leviathan ships are humongous, right? They're gigantic. And a Leviathan ship went up the river one time, and as it was passing by Crow's Foot, it scuttled, ran aground, something, and partially sunk into the river. And was abandoned there. It was too difficult to recover. They're too big and too large to drag up from the bottom, and it was just left there, and nobody ever recovered it. And since that time, it has grown into a flotilla. A little floating sort of island, sort of neighborhood kind of thing. It's a little bit bigger than a city block, and it is considered a neutral ground among the street gangs. There is only one rule in Tangletown, which makes it one more rule than Crow's Foot itself has, and that rule is that there is no violence allowed in Tangletown.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
we're gonna break another law. Good.
It's
Surprise.
It's a ceasefire zone, and that goes for the Bluecoats as well. And Lissa meets with her Bluecoat contact there every so often to talk about patrol routes, to talk about jobs upcoming, to talk about everything else, to pass on bribes and information, all that stuff. And
Okay.
he tells you underneath the vicious grasp of your interrogation slab that if you're looking to catch her vulnerable, that would be the most vulnerable time, but it's not exactly safe. Yeah. So, yeah, what's the plan, guys?
I mean, this is an option for Ghoul. I mean, this is not technically violence if
Yeah,
they're
let me check
willing.
if I have something like that. Oh, you know what? We could make her commit violence, getting herself killed. No, that's
We don't want her dead. We need to kidnap her and give her to the Hive.
Mm-hmm.
sure. Yeah.
That means no planting explosives ahead of time.
Then I have nothing. I can't make a poison in just one downtime.
Well, so here's a good question. Let's look at it this way. What kind of plan do we want to do? Is it an assault plan? We're just going to attack her before or after the flotilla or at the flotilla. You know, we just need to know the point of the attack. Are you going to use, I don't know, stealth? Right? Sneak on the ship and steal her away? Social? I don't know. Try to talk her into some kind of deal? I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
Kind of want to do assault. Just our swan song. Our last try at what?
It's an option, but I just had a different idea. So it's like this flotilla of various ships around one main ship, right? And there are probably like gangways and stuff going to this main ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we can find out what way Alyssa is coming onto the ship, if we can try and basically wreck the bridge or the gangway that she's on as she's getting on there, or somehow sabotage it so where she's locked in one place, and then we can say, oh yeah, we're just gonna try and rescue her, and we end up splitting ways after that, something like that.
Okay.
That sounded a lot better in my head.
Deception.
I don't think that will work. But...
I don't know.
Well, it's still, I don't know. So there's a fake attack, or
so yeah, basically, we set up.
So you do want me to set up bombs ahead of time?
Yes.
I see how it goes.
Not anywhere near Alyssa. Okay, that's what we tried to do with Besson, but still. Yeah, so either create a distraction, and then as she, as her bodyguards go, come with me, ma'am. We're waiting in the wings, and hopefully ambush them. But that's also fairly... And then we don't have to kill them in Tangletown. We can wait outside Tangletown as she tries to flee.
Okay.
On the other hand, if we just don't give a shit, it'd probably be easier to just drop fucking smoke balls from the ceiling and go in with gas masks, grab her.
Yeah.
Question, do I have a gas? No.
Well, so it sounds like it's either a deception to be like, you're under attack, come with us if you want to live or whatever, or it's an assault where it's like you gas bomb them and it's like you're under attack and come with us if you want to live. But it sounds like there's a setup either way by Ghoul of some kind for an explosive or a gas agent, something like that. That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like
Actually,
it.
that's also a pretty good idea. If you have any type of like knockout gas or anything, and we can lock them in a room.
I am a knockout gas. I have standstill.
Oh yeah, of course. I forgot.
Well, yeah.
Wait, let's just do that instead. Yeah.
You could spit at everybody, I guess. But yeah, what do you prefer, Ghoul? Do you want to try and set up like gas bombs to blind them and just assault their ship and grab her, or would you rather set up explosives in the water to like scuttle their ship and only drag her out of the water and then make your run for it?
I feel like gas is gonna draw less attention.
Okay.
And I have bad experience with bombs, so let's give it the gas.
All right. So standstill is fine. I mean, you would basically have to poison spit every person individually. But you do have a smoke bomb that you could bring.
True.
The thing is, you have to spend downtime action just spitting in a cup until you can put it in the smoke bomb.
Yeah, can I trauma myself like 2 times or something to get enough gas?
Well, it's not a gas, right? It's a liquid, and if it was a gas, then I mean, maybe you could turn it into a gas.
I can exhale it as vapor.
Sure. Yeah, you would need a downtime to capture all that shit into like a bottle or something.
Yeah, there's no. I could. No, never mind.
I mean,
we can't even use rep because we don't have a gang.
Choke dust. There we go. Incapacitating but fatal only in very high doses. Hey.
Yeah.
Let's use that.
Yeah, something like that would be better. I mean, because you have stuff like that that's sort of like tear gas or something. Well, okay. Well, here's the only problem with choke dust is that it's not a default option on your bandolier.
God damn it.
Yeah, you would have to make it.
Okay. Let's not use that then.
Yeah. What can you use? Let's see.
Alkahest, binding oil, drift oil, drown powder, eye blind poison, fire oil, grenades, quicksilver, skullfire poison, smoke bombs, spark, standstill poison, or trance powder.
Skullfire.
What was that skullfire poison?
Causes incapacitating migraines. Hey, let's use that.
If we can find some way of, if you can, without a downtime action or something, remove the shrapnel from a grenade and replace it with powder or something like that, then maybe. But
yeah, I mean, skullfire. So it wouldn't be. You'd only have one shot of it, right? and it probably wouldn't be a big fucking cloud, but I think that a well-placed Skullfire, right, you would have to, like, launch it or throw it or something. But that does give off toxic fumes and from overly heated Leviathan blood, and that causes incapacitating migraines. The only issue with it is that it only has one use, right? There's not a lot of it, right? You've got one toss of this thing. I mean, you have 3 Bandoliers, so you could just stack up 3 Skullfires.
Yeah, like 9 or so.
Yeah, and just toss some bitches on there. That's something that you could do. Yeah. The only issue would be, protecting yourself from it, but I'm just assuming that the leech has gear for that.
I would hope so. Maybe.
Well, you've got Alcahest,
under
right?
Gadgets. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you've got Alcahest, which would help with that, and yeah, I think that what kind of gadgets do you have as a leech? Let's look.
I think I have to make them.
You may create gadgets during downtime by tinkering with tools and materials. See gadgets.
Yeah. It's like a long-term project.
And in all the standard items. Yeah, it would, okay, so Alcahest would be probably your best bet for, like, negating the effects. At least long enough to grab somebody off the boat and run, or whatever.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Do or die.
Okay, so you're doing a setup, Ghoul, for Slab. I mean, you'd have to give Slab the Alcahest if he's the one running on the boat, which...
Yeah, I'll probably be the one doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
I assume we're going heavy load?
I might just take normal so I can run faster.
Okay. Yeah. Does the Alcahest and the Skullfire count towards my load?
Yeah, so
Okay,
what you would
I'll
do...
mark off a Bandolier.
Yeah. The Skullfire, you get 1 use per Bandolier slot it takes up. And Alcahest, the same thing. You get 1 use per Bandolier slot.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, I mean, if you had a Skullfire and then 2 Alcahest, you would have a Skullfire to throw, an Alcahest for yourself, and an Alcahest for your guy, Slab.
Yeah. So I've used 1 of my Bandoliers already.
Okay.
Cool.
So...
What's
yeah,
your roll?
And you can, you obviously can have up to 2 another Bandolier, so you can hitch that up. Let's have Slab roll the engagement then. So Slab, you're going to have 1 die for sheer luck. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? Yes. Yeah. It's fucking crazy. Is this operation overly contingent or complex, contingent on many factors? Not really. It's pretty much throw gas at them and grab and run. Like, it's fairly simple, I think. So that's going to be an extra dice. So does the plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? It's not a vulnerability, not really. It's when she's most exposed, but that doesn't mean it's weakness, right? But is the target strong against this approach? Do they have special defenses? That's a definite no. No, they don't have special defenses for mad bombers and People crazy enough to do what you're going to do, so no. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight in this operation?
Can they? Indeed.
The issue you want to think about, I think, is you're going to need a boat.
Yeah, I think that is where if I can leverage my Scotlander contacts to hopefully get one of them has a boat and still owes me something. So I'm gonna have to start paying these guys back, and then yeah, he's gonna be gunboat or getaway man.
Okay. Yeah, no, you had those Scotlanders last time. Yeah, we'll say that you're tapping some more Scotland friends to come along. Um, yeah, somebody's got a boat for you to use. That's cool with me.
Unless Rama, you've got a better idea. But...
And are any enemies or
Not really.
rivals interfering with the operation? Well, that's a yes. That's a yes. The Bluecoats specifically are definitely interfering. Also the Hive. And then any other elements regarding tier? Well, if I was to bring that in, it would be depending on, kind of your engagement role anyway. So I guess not before the engagement role. The tier doesn't matter. It'll definitely matter the entire time afterward. But I guess we're gonna say 2 dice on this.
All right. Here we go. Oh, hell.
Oh my god. You swallow the poison by accident.
So your ship is sort of bouncing through the waters, and you're coming near to Lissa. Now, are you guys trying to catch her before her meeting or after the meeting?
I was thinking after the meeting, and then the Bluecoats are going to be on their way out.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So you're at a position maybe, right? Like in the water somewhere. Maybe you're even at Tangletown, lying low and just keeping watch, and you see the meeting going down from a little hidden vantage point. The guy you grabbed gave you enough details to figure out which ship would be which, right, and be able to spot them. And it's the 2 of you and a couple of Scotlanders on this small sort of like fishing boat sized vessel. It's not really very big. It's got room for like 6 people, really. So there's 4 of you right now. So there's plenty of room for you guys to move around, and you're able to kind of watch the goings on from far away. And yeah, the deal is done, or whatever they were doing is done. And the captain of the boat, he yells down at you. Yeah, he says, "Look lively! They're headed out. Should we go?"
Take us in.
And he yells down at his mate or whatever to like bring up the ropes and stuff, and he unties the rigging really quickly. And the guy sort of fires up the motor on the thing. The motor is is it a motor? I almost want it to be like coal powered. Like No, I think it is a motor. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's. I mean, it's sort of electrical, right? It is powered by electroplasm. Um, it's got sort of a almost like a tank or a tube or something that has to like sort of slot into the thing. And basically all the motor mechanism is like it's like a handle he pushes forward, but it's only really kind of got three settings because all you're doing is unleashing more or less electroplasm. And
Right.
it's not really fine tuned, at least not this motor. It's kind of cheap, right? Or old or out of date. And it's kind of got like sort of putter, barely dribbling, to kind of really fast. Uh, all the way to it's probably going to explode if you go this fast too long. So it's not very quiet or anything. So he hits it into like the second gear, and the motor, I think it shoots like sparks up when it starts. The electroplasm, like there's basically like a valve or something on the bottom that gets released whenever he hits the switch, and there's all this like sort of white hot molten sparks that shoot out the back for a second. It's really fucking dangerous. It's like if you were standing near the motor when it turned on, there's a pretty good chance you'd be covered in liquid death, right?
Right. Yeah.
And you're pretty sure it's gonna blow up like every time he starts the boat, but it hasn't yet, and he claims to have been driving this boat for a long time. It's old enough and crappy enough looking that's believable, at least.
Yeah, but I keep looking at the fortune roll and, something doesn't look right.
And so he kicks it in, and there's like big sparks. And finally everything like locks into place, and the sparks sort of die down, and the motor just like it does like this big jump at the start when it finally kicks into gear, and you hear sort of a grinding noise from the motor, and all this plume of water shoots up, and you have to be like holding on to something or even just laying down when the boat starts, because it just has this big fucking kick at the start, this jolt, right? As if the boat itself is being like electrocuted. And it jumps forward and starts going very fast. And basically the point is that there's not a lot of maneuver around and wait for a good time on this boat. It's kind of you just go when you go, right? And if what we're doing is riding up to another boat, we're just getting right next to them and it's happening. Pretty quickly, and all of this, it takes just a few moments, and you're halfway from the place where you were on the dock to their boat. You kind of judge the distance, and you got the timing down to where they'd be far enough away. But as you're getting closer, you can hear the captain like yelling something. And you can't hear it right away over the sounds of the motor and the water and the wind. He has to repeat it a few times, and finally you catch hold of it, and he says, "There's a fourth man! A fourth man! They took one on!" And what he's telling you, right, is that the crew on the Crow ship, it was 3 people. Probably Lissa and a couple of bodyguards, but he's telling you that now there's a 4th person. They took someone off of the Bluecoat boat.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Right. So I'm kind of like, wait, what? And then we kind of like, I kind of realize what he's saying, and I'm kind of holding on to my tricorn hat, stop from blowing off. And I'm just like, as I stare at him, my hand just kind of loosens and my hat blows off, and I'm like, shite.
and you see the guy is in a blue coat, right? A proper blue coat. And he's got a cool tricorn hat on too, like schwang. He looks like he's
a tricorn hat.
He looks like he doesn't look like a normal like street blue coat walker type guy. He's got a funky hat on, first of all, and he's got this big rifle, right? That's like he's got sort of in his arms, and he's standing on the deck like he's playing lookout or something. He looks like a dangerous dude. Like a
wait, is he wearing a gray coat?
No, it's a blue coat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could still, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks like, that he's got that sort of long rifle on, and like he's an assassin or sharpshooter or something like that. He's not just a thug.
But he's still a blue coat. He's not military or anything.
Something like that, yeah.
Right. It's like a SWAT coat or something.
Yeah, so the captain turns back down around to you and he says, "How are we going?"
Hey, it's too late now. Faster if you can. And then like I had the motor and I was like, or maybe not. Just keep going.
And he says, "Aye, buckle down!" And he hits it up into third gear, and you're pretty sure the boat is just going to rattle and shatter. And the engine's going to rip straight through, cut the boat in half, and just keep shooting up the water. And there's another big arc of white, fire out the back, basically. And a couple of even arcs of electricity, that jump on the water. And I think the ship's got like this sort of apparatus on the top of it, because it doesn't have sails or whatever, but there's a little cabin area where you drive it. But up on the cabin area, there's this big pole, like a metal pole, right? And when like lightning shoots out of the engine, it leaps up onto that pole, some of it. It's like a fucking lightning rod for the engine when it bursts out electricity. So the whole ship sort of glows white for a second. But you are moving super damned fast, right? Coming right up on this ship. And Ghoul, you're just about to get in range for your bomb. And you can see the Bluecoats now looking back and noticing this burning boat chasing them. Coming up on them. And this is going to be your roll. What action are you rolling to do this? Yeah.
So how close are we getting on the boat?
I mean, he's pulling like right up next to him.
Okay, so could I jump onto the boat and then release the gas?
Sure, yeah. If you want to jump on first.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, what action are you rolling to jump on the boat?
I don't know if it's prowl or finesse. Either way,
yeah.
I have 0 in those, so it doesn't fucking matter.
I think it seems more like a prowl. Because prowl is kind of the running and jumping stat. Let's Sure, yeah, Slab, how are you helping?
You're throwing me?
Yeah, that's literally what I was gonna say. Just toss you like fucking Gimli.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't tell anyone.
So that's mark 1 stress on you, Slap. Um, and a devil's bargain. The devil's bargain is that the sharpshooter ghoul takes a shot at someone. Well, should I just say someone? He's going to take a shot. He's not going to shoot you. He's going to shoot somebody else. Which I guess would mean the captain of this boat. The sharpshooter is going to shoot the driver of your boat.
Fuck it. Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
Don't.
It's a desperate action. You have standard effect. You've got a helper die from Slab, and you've got a devil's bargain dice from me.
So 2 bonus.
Yeah. So your boat comes shooting up, and it pulls up next to the thing, and Slab tosses you, and when you're in the air, there's this, shot fires out. And it hits the captain right in the chest as he goes stumbling back, right? And out of the, driving room on the deck, dead.
Oh no.
The
probably had wife and childs.
The complication would be the complication would be passing on to Slab. That when you toss Ghoul, the boat is now engaged, but without a driver. And basically it would careen off the side of their ship and keep running.
Right, so
if you want to stop that, I mean, you can just be like, okay, fine, we just jump on their boat, we'll just steal their goddamn boat. Or you could say, you could resist it somehow.
I mean, finesse to actually drive the boat, wouldn't it?
Board them.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna. Did this captain have a name? Did we give him a name?
Give him a name.
Right. It's gonna be
Ahab.
Ned.
It's fucking
Ned.
Ned. Captain Ned, or formerly Captain Ned.
Right.
Ned, you fuck, and I point at the sharpshooter. And it's all the other crewmen, and I say jump! I'm not gonna let you die now, all of you. I'm gonna command them to all get off this fucking boat before I jump onto there.
Okay. Yeah, let's roll your command. You get an extra dice for the Scotland crew. And Devil's Bargain is well, the Devil's Bargain is that I know what the Devil's Bargain is. Slab. I will tick your clock for losing rep with the Scotlanders once.
Right. I think it's worth it, honestly.
Cool.
Even if they respect me less for trying to save their lives. Don't do it.
Well, it's the Scotlanders overall, right? It's like you got Captain Ned killed, you son of a bitch. Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Cool. It is.
Thank God for the extra die. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's desperate. I just thought it was desperate. But,
yeah, it was desperate for sure.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself. But
will we ever roll double sixes? That's the true question.
So you take your time to like call the crew off, and they all jump off. When they do, the boat like careens off, and it's stuck in high gear. Right, it's not supposed to be in high gear for very long. And the reason why is now there is a lot of sparks coming out of the back. There is liquid white fire spewing now wildly. Arcs of electricity running all up and down the boat. And some of it's hitting the lightning rod and some of it is not.
right.
And no, yeah, the ship is swiftly, yeah, your ship is being ruined, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ship is going to explode. And you've got to get off of it right now.
Yeah. That's definitely gonna do that. I'm still close enough to jump onto their ship, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's a prowl again, yeah.
Yep.
And Devil's Bargain. Well, the Devil's Bargain is that the Bluecoats all start firing now. They pull out pistols. The sharpshooters reloading, and the three Bluecoats, the crows, the three crows, Lissa and her two bodyguards. Now they're shooting. This would be level 1 harm for your entire crew, for all of you. Basically, we'll call it suppressed.
Right. Can we resist that harm?
Yes. If you take the Devil's Bargain, you can resist that effect. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Rama, what do you think? I think if we can resist it, or just use armor, could we use armor against it?
Yes, yeah. Armor could also.
Alright.
Yeah, I would say use armor. But then again, I'm the reason we're here, so you shouldn't listen to me.
Yeah, I'll take that Devil's Bargain then.
Alright. So that's an extra dice for your prowl.
Alright, so I've got 2.
Yep.
Here we go.
Oh my god. A Leviathan comes from the water. Fucking needs.
What is with our rolls? What the fuck?
Yeah, Sam, we're not gonna play together again. There's something going on that prevents us from rolling correctly.
Okay, so We'll do it in order. First, it's the level 1 harm. This weakens your Scavling, like, crewman. I mean, it's just one guy, so level 1 harm is just level 1 harm for him. That's fine. He has less effect. Right. Ghoul, do you want to resist that or use up armor against suppressed?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna use armor.
Okay.
I want to pass out. So let me mark armor. There we go.
And Slab, against suppressed, do you want to use up your armor or resist?
I'm gonna resist with prowess.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Wait, armor's two load?
The first tick of armor is just 1 load.
Okay, cool.
All right, here we go.
Hey, there we
Well
go.
on this track. Okay.
Nice.
So the bullets come flying down and bounce up off of the hull everywhere, as they're just shooting wildly. I mean, like, the ship got jostled and everything, right? And you guys came out of nowhere, so their shots aren't super accurate. That shot from the sharpshooter was just, he is a superior marksman, right? But for Slab, as you're jumping off and avoiding the bullet fire, there is an explosion, right? And the motor is right behind you, and the electroplasm, the white lightning, bursts behind you. And you are, for that failed roll, you are hit by the lightning and knocked off course, splash into the water, taking level 3 harm.
Wait. Oh no! What happens when you touch the water? Is it like?
No, you could swim in the water.
Oh, you can swim. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be like spooky ghost water.
It is spooky ghost water.
I mean, this is still.
I've done fucky stuff with water. Yeah. It's jet black all the time, right? It's jet black all the time, but that's also because there is no sun, right? The other part of it is there's no stars in the sky, except there are the reflection of stars in the water. The water can be fucked up. That's where the Leviathans come from, yes. But in this case, not necessarily right now, is Slab caught in some sort of nightmare realm beneath the waves. He simply has splashed into water, having been electrocuted for level 3 harm.
So, yep, using both armor and resisting.
So you could tick your heavy armor on it. That'll use up 2 more load.
But not my normal.
Say again.
Because I
you resist. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do all the way to your heavy armor, that's 3 load. It'll mark, and then if you resist it, that would erase it completely. That would keep you from getting hurt here.
Okay.
And we'll say you don't fall into the water, right?
Right. Great.
The resistance roll. Let's say it's a prowess again. It's still prowess, yeah.
Okay. So just being a badass, not looking at the explosion as they jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So. Boom. No stress.
So yes.
Don't look at the explosion.
Slab comes leaping over, the blast goes off, and you see the lightning strike him and drive him, and you're sure he's going to go over the boat, but he just arcs well enough that he lands just inside of the boat, right? And sort of thuds hard into the bottom next to you, Ghoul, as everyone's reloading and re-aiming to fire, and you're ready for that bomb.
Yeah.
The skull fire.
About that. If I use the skull fire, will it affect all of us?
It would depend on the roll, right?
Okay.
But not necessarily immediately.
Okay.
You know, I mean, if you roll a complete fail, maybe, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What am I rolling?
There's a few options.
Sounds like... I don't know.
I think I could buy... I mean, Hunt is fine.
Yeah, it could be Hunt.
Finesse seems fine, but also Wreck seems fine. This is kind of just... You know, not really... Finesse is more like fine aiming, right? If you were trying to hit a specific target with that bomb. Yeah. Hunt is an all-around, like, ranged attack thing, but Wreck is like, you know, just fuck up a situation. Like, you're just trying to cause fucking chaos, basically.
Wreck says breach defenses with force, but skirmish also says assault a position.
Sure, yeah, also.
I don't know, I guess skirmish is more melee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skirmish would be like, you know, assaulting them by running up at them and, you know, jumping over a wall or something.
Okay, so desperate standard effect?
Yeah, what's my devil's bargain here?
I'll also give you an assist. Probably. This may have just been like a flashback moment to like. I've seen how grenadiers do their operations. You're supposed to jump in, immediately throw, and then just get in there and start murdering the shit out of people. And so just as soon as you get here and you're like fiddling with the bomb, and just give you the look and like, grenadiers, supposed to throw it, don't think, just do it. That's all I can give you for an assist.
Okay.
Okay.
You're like, don't think about it. I'm not.
Devil's bargain. The devil's bargain is that a Bluecoat ship has taken notice of your attack and is approaching your position. Okay.
No. Get the fuck out.
I just said approaching. Just time. Okay.
There we go. Fucking 6.
There's the 6. Yeah. So you buckle down.
That'll be the last one.
Toss in the thing, and it boom blows out. So this is made of overly heated Leviathan blood. So I think when this thing explodes, right, there is a boom, but it's not a big bomb, right? It doesn't like blow your eardrums out or anything. It's just big enough to like crack this canister, and then this sort of red mist spreads outward in all directions really fast. And it sort of like glows, and it moves in a weird way. It almost moves like tendrils in the air, like tentacles. But it's definitely like gaseous, and it spreads in sort of a spherical cloud, more or less. when it hits the water, I think the water like boils. It's like dropping water in a pan of hot oil, right? Except the opposite. And as this gas, just spreads out, and when it touches the water, there's like sizzling and popping water just shooting into the air. And if any of it touches you, like it's just droplets when it hits you. It doesn't send like big waves, but like droplets, if they hit you, they burn like like a frying pan stinging you. And yeah, and you see everyone in the cloud like start to buckle. They like grab their head and start to buckle underneath the effects of the gas. What do you do? I think it's Slab's time.
Yeah.
Slab is definitely going to go after the sniper because I don't think he was in the cloud.
Are we killing them, or are we pushing them off the boat?
The sniper, I'm just going to fucking just try and check off the body check off the boat.
Okay.
Because we don't really want to kill people because bells and shit.
I mean, someone died already. But...
Yeah.
Oh yeah. God. Oh well.
But he flew off with the boat.
Actually, yeah.
Into Neverland.
He died, but then he was consumed in ectoplasmic fire. So I actually don't think his body is going to give off a bell tone.
Okay.
Because it was consumed by electroplasm, right? It's not exactly the way the spirit wardens do it, but it's, the same principle.
It's one way to do it.
But
on the other hand, you just reminded me, this guy fucking killed Ned.
He did kill Ned.
So...
True.
He's gonna get murdered.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
There's a few rules in the world. Not many, but one of them is if you kill Ned, you get a mattock to the chest.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, now just to clarify, right, we don't need to do a flashback or an actual roll for this, but you are giving him the Alcahest. He would have to go through the cloud to get to the sniper.
Yeah, I gave him the thing.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were noting that. So, do you drink the stuff now?
Yeah.
And then you go charge
I chug it, throw the bottle at him while I pull up my mattock, and just gonna go to axe murder town on this guy.
Okay, yeah.
I imagine I just throw the grenade, the cloud goes off. I look to try and help you up from the ground, and you're just running through the cloud.
Yeah, he's just already down, slams the bottle, splash, or crash, as it breaks into pieces, and he's running through this cloud, just disappearing. And, okay, what are you rolling there, Slab?
Definitely skirmish.
Yeah, this is a skirmish for sure. So it is desperate. I mean, you could push yourself to be not to be trifled with.
I will do that.
Okay.
This guy deserves it.
Ouch.
So that's no devil's bargain from me. It does increase your effect level to great. You definitely have great effect against him. Plus you have a fine weapon, right?
Yeah.
And you can... well, that's performing the feat of... Yeah, you can either increase your effect. So your fine weapon's already going to give you great effect. But you can either increase your effect more or give yourself an extra dice also.
I'll take the extra die.
Yeah.
I would like to extremely murder him, but well, I think just murdering will have to do.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So
There we go. That's a way to murder him.
Desperate Great with a crit.
So,
Yeah. You come running through here, and the guy has run to the bow of the ship. The bow, is that the bow? Prow? The prow?
yeah,
Whatever it is.
yeah.
And he's like working his rifle, and he gets it reloaded, and right as he looks up, his eyes go wide as you're just standing over him, looking insane.
If I can, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna like grab the rifle out of his hand, just grab it out of his hand, snap it over my knee,
Yeah.
and then just plant my medic in the ground actually, and just start beating his fucking face in with my fist, and just like, you don't fucking kill skulls,
And like,
or this will fucking happen to you. And it's just like bloody mess at this point.
and he's a tough guy, right? Like, he punches you back quite a bit, and he's just like, ah, but it's just like, it just does nothing. He's landing blows, and you're just fucking ignoring them, right? As you finally pound him, and he goes, hit him one good one, he goes unconscious. You hit him 4 or 5 more times, yeah, you guys pretty much have the boat. That's pretty wild. Well, we need to do something to secure. Well, they're gonna be incapacitated.
I mean, the other guys, I think, the bodyguards, we can just like tie to a plank and throw them off the boat.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can do whatever we want with them, and I mean, you've got enough alkahest to inoculate yourself, Ghoul, and the extra crew guy, the other Scovlander.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be that. I think you got him. There's really nothing else to do. I mean, there's turning her in or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do we do that?
Yeah, how do you do that? Are you gonna go knocking? Are you gonna go finding like a Hive cab and be like, "Hey, we need a meeting," or do you just leave her outside of a shop and be like, "Leave me the fuck alone"? Like,
I think it's going to be something like, yeah, we kind of just go up to like a Hive cab. We've got this manacled and gagged Alyssa over my shoulder or something with Ghoul as well. And just look at the coachman and say, "Our parting gift. I hope that this leaves us on better terms."
yeah, it's like,
and just like
it's like dead hour, right? There's nobody in the streets, but there's this one cabbie moving through the streets, and you know he's got like a nice vest on and a hat, and he's got like a little golden bee on his vest, and like he's riding through like sort of a misty street, and it parts, and there's this giant son of a bitch with with a person slung over his shoulder. Yeah, so you say parting gift, carry on. And he looks terrified. He's just like, "Oh god, it's those crazy people."
Like, don't worry, I'm not here for you. I'm just like jolly walking over to the side of the cab, open the door, chuck her in, and just kind of look her in the eyes and say, "I'm sorry, just business." And then slam the door on her.
Yeah. And there was somebody in there. It was like some Hive guy, right? Some Hive guy who's just like looks confused as you toss in Lissa at his feet and shut the door. And the Cabby like waits for a second, looking
Yeah,
like
just open the door again.
confused.
I just actually open the door after a sec and just like look at the Hive guy and say, "Oh yeah, and give Miss Sparrow my regards. Lovely lady."
Right.
Slam the door again. And just tap on the cab twice. Drive on.
Yeah, he's just like whack, and the goats and go. Okay. That was
That happened.
that was
Yeah. We call that success.
man.
Kind of.
I thought it was gonna go bad at the beginning there, y'all. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
When you failed that jump roll, I was like, well, here we go. Everybody's gonna die. They're gonna die. He was like, fuck that. All my armor. Resist that shit. Roll a 6. And I was like, now they have a chance. The wreck. And then the crit skirmish. Yeah. That was good. You guys went through fire there. Well, let's start with XP, and then we'll do the faction statuses for you guys. So that was definitely a successful mission, by the way. And you made some money, like for sure. Like you stole a boat, so.
Did they? Oh, right.
Yeah. Let me find downtime. Well, I'll tell you what, you've got an option here. So, I'll give you 6 coins for a standard score. Decent loot, right? This was Lissa and 2 bodyguards and a blue coat on a boat. Like, they had... The weapons on them, at least, would be worth quite a bit. The boat... You probably couldn't sell the boat to anybody, because they'd be like, you know, this is Lissa's boat. But they would have had stuff on the boat that would be worth money. One of the things a gang wants you to do at the end of your contract is leave a certain amount of money in their vault. I think that you two would go to -1 status with the Hive. They wouldn't like you, right? They don't want to associate with you. But they're not really going to go out of their way to hurt you, right? In any way, right? They just don't like you, is all.
Yeah.
But if you pay them 4 coins, that goes a long way to salve the wounds. Cristoph didn't pay them anything, and he murdered one of their gangs. He's at -2, which is them saying, like, okay, we won't try to just kill that guy actively right now because he's apparently a crazy bastard. But if we see him, you know, target of opportunity. But if you guys pay them 4 coins, they'd probably say, like, slate's clean. Right? You guys could go back to 0 with them. Otherwise, it would go to -1. But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Paying up.
I kind of want to keep the money, though. I mean, yes, it may be a tier 4 organization, but... Okay, it's a tier 4 organization. We'll give them the money.
Okay. Okay,
Wise choice.
So I'll put 4 coins in their vault. You could each take 1, for example. So, I mean, you still made some money, right?
Yeah. So we throw in the body, we close the thing, we open the thing again, and this is for Jeremiah, and then we throw in the gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you go, and he goes riding off. So So Slab, let's do your XP here. We got all your desperate rolls, which was... Did you get all your desperate rolls? Because pretty much everything was a desperate roll.
I think so. I had 2 commands and 2
Prowess.
2 prowess.
Okay.
2 so 1 skirmish, 1 pro. Yeah, so all
Right.
right.
And did you address a challenge with violence or coercion?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Just maybe.
Yeah, you can take 2
ask the
XP.
sniper.
Yeah, you beat him to death. You assaulted the ship in the first place, and your downtime move was to grab a guy and beat a story out of him. So I think that's 2 XP. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I think I did a fair amount.
Yeah, for sure.
With skulls.
Yeah, again
And
with the
kind of military training, all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's 2 XP also.
Okay.
You keep putting that Scovlander thing on the line, like.
Eventually, I'm gonna be a man without a country.
And did you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas?
I mean, sort of. I was kind of want to be soft by just making sure the Scovs got on the boat first, and then I'd jump. But caring for them. But it's yeah.
We forgot something. I'm not going to go back and change the whole session, but since you didn't do your vice in downtime, you should have had 2 extra stress.
Oh shit.
Which actually would have knocked you out on that prowess roll.
Oh shit, yeah.
But I'm not going to go back and change the whole session, right? I missed it. We did a bunch of extra rolls, so I missed it. That's all there is to it. Sometimes we miss things. There were rules I played against you guys because I didn't realize the version had changed a rule, and it hurt you, so I didn't go back and fix those either.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. Oh man, I just realized it just sitting here. I was like, whatever, you made it. Whatever, you made it, even if it's because we forgot a rule. It stands. But did you suffer the vice or trauma for the vice or traumas? I gave you a chance to.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that I did the command roll first and perhaps got blown up by the motor because of it, but, well, yeah. Bit of a long shot.
Oh, is that you being soft?
Yeah, well, sort of, because I was caring for the crew first, and just...
Okay, I'll buy that. Take 1 XP for that.
Oh, good. You activate my trap card. I get no playbook advance, but hooray.
Okay. Ghoul. You got a butt ton of desperate rolls. And
Yeah.
Did you
I
address?
only got 2.
Did you address a tough challenge with technical skill or chaos?
All over the place, I'd say.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. I mean, the poison.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah. Take an XP for that.
So, 1 XP.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Nope.
Okay. Did you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas?
I could have, but no. I could have just jumped into the boat and instead of releasing the poison, tried to kill everyone. But we didn't do that.
That's okay. Sometimes utter victory is its own reward. But okay, so now for you guys, for your faction statuses, for your individual statuses, let's change the Hive to a 0. You should be at -3 with the Lost, but they're not really in a position to fight a war against you.
I'm sorry.
Do they even exist?
They do.
I don't know anyone lost. There are no lost.
There were when you rolled that last roll, that crazy roll to hunt them all down, and you failed it.
Yep.
It was not only that the Hive were fed up with you and your shenanigans, but a very, very small cadre of them survived.
Yeah, well, growing smaller.
I'm sure they won't be a problem in the future.
Well, Sam's other character killed 1/3 of them.
Yeah. So. Growing smaller by the minute. It's a bit unfair. I'm double teaming them with 2 characters.
However, there is so the Lost will go to a -2. I mean, they don't have the resources to start a war on you.
Yeah, I get it.
But there's one other group, and it's the Bluecoats. Now, the Bluecoats don't give a fuck about you turning in a lady. They do care about you beating their Bluecoat man to death. So you're going to go to a -2 with the Bluecoats also.
Wait, how do they find out?
Well, it's not that hard to put together, right? The Hive put out a burn notice on you. Take these fuckers out. They did everything. And then Lissa ends up in the hands of the Hive. Right? And the Hive say, okay, never mind, don't take those fuckers out, it's fine. Right? And so Bluecoats are able to put 2 and 2 together. That's who took Lissa. Our man was on that boat and he got beat to death. Yeah.
I have the feeling that you're overestimating the intelligence of the Bluecoats, but I'll accept it.
Yeah.
I'll take that into consideration. All right. Well, other than that, that's the end of our contract, guys. That was a smashing success. Cristoph wasn't even entertaining the idea of doing something to appease the Hive. He was just like, no, I'm going to kill all of them and I'm going to shoot Toad.
Yeah, Mason was pretty hyped about killing Toad.
Yeah. He was a kind of recurring character from an older Blades game with him.
Right. Old history.
Yeah, I figure as much.
Although they killed that Toad too, so this was just a different Toad. I mean, it's
Okay,
essentially
so the world's multiverse is going along. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for playing, guys. That was
Thank
a blast.
you for running.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. See you.